Another week, another video. I'm Ryan Kingsley, a chartered and independent regulated financial advisor. I've been told I need to be more personable. Here's the latest book I'm reading it's a reread. It's Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. But today's video is actually about retirement planning mistakes I see all the time. I try to keep this very short. So if I asked you right now, how much money do you actually need to retire comfortably? Could you give me a confident answer? Probably not, and that's not your fault. But it might be costing you years of unnecessary work. Today, I want to walk you through 5 things that people consistently get wrong when planning for retirement. And yes, they're not the obvious ones. The single biggest driver for your retirement plan is, what does retirement actually cost? And most people just guess. I'll hear, I need 80% of my income all the time. And it's just one of those rules of thumb that's become gospel, that's really just a guess dressed up as a formula. The truth is, retirement spending is very personal. Maybe you're planning on traveling more in the early years. Maybe you'll downsize the house, maybe the mortgage is gone, maybe you'll pick up new hobbies that cost money, or drop expensive ones that you only had because of work. I've literally got a client who has a £20,000 a year golf membership and he hates golf. You need to actually sit down and build a retirement budget, line by line, housing, food, holidays, car costs, subscriptions, the lot. It takes about an hour, sometimes 3, but it's absolutely worth it. Once you've built that budget, actually try living on it for a month. If your plan says you'll eat out 4 times a month instead of 8, try it. If you're planning to run 1 car instead of 2, try it for a bit. If you think you'll be perfectly happy with a smaller home, spend a weekend somewhere that size. Because if your living retirement budget feels like a sacrifice, this is really important information. The numbers are important, but this is more important. It might mean you need a bit longer or a bit more saved, but far better to find out now than on the day your retirement actually comes and it's too late to change course. A lot of people plan for their spending to go up in retirement. Healthcare costs, all of that. And yes, those are costs that do rise. But JP Morgan did a study of around 100,000 retirees and found something really interesting. Spending overall falls throughout retirement, even accounting for healthcare. People simply do or spend less than they expect. The practical implication of this, a lot of people are working a lot longer than they need to because they're planning for a spending spike that statistically probably won't come. Care costs are a completely separate conversation and worth planning for, but don't let a fear of a hypothetical future spending scenario keep you in a job for unnecessary amounts of time. You've probably heard the 4% rule, the idea that you can safely withdraw 4% of your pension pot every year in retirement. It comes from an American financial planner in the 1990s, 35 years ago, designed around American markets, American tax rules, and an American retirement account. We have a state pension, we have ISAs, we've got SIPs, we have a completely different tax system, treatment. So blindly applying an American rule of thumb to a UK retirement plan is a bit like driving or following the American road directions in the UK. It just doesn't make sense. It's not quite the same thing. Model your own numbers and use your own income sources. Don't outsource your retirement plan to a foreign formula. Most people know they can take 25% of their pension tax-free as a lump sum, and it's almost done by everyone automatically, as if it's free money that you'd be mad to leave on the table. But it's worth pausing on this, because if you take a large sum from your pension and you don't have an immediate need for it, you've just moved money from a tax-efficient pension wrapper into your own bank account, where it will likely earn less, which could affect all of your saving allowances and may even push you up into a higher rate tax bracket depending on how it's invested. For some people, taking smaller amounts of tax-free cash spread over several years rather than all at once in retirement actually works out significantly better. It's not all about kind of avoiding it entirely. It's about not doing it on autopilot. A common thread through all of these is the same thing. Retirement planning isn't about following rules of thumb. It's about understanding your own numbers. The people who retire confidently are almost always the ones who've done the work.